Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on the FinxS admin site. Alright, I will try and keep this relatively short, as I know some of you will be getting your Halloween costumes ready to take the kids out trick-or-treating tonight. Just a couple of reminders to begin with. The webinar will be up on the website in about a week's time, so don't worry if you miss something. We do have how-to pages in the VIP area for each of the parts of the FinxS that we cover today. I won't have time to answer any questions that you have during the webinar. However, if you have any questions throughout, just type them in the chat box and one of the team will reply to you via email after the conclusion of the webinar. Alright, let's get to it. Today we will cover the admin users, so how to find and edit your admin information. We will also go over how to create and edit a project and an access code. We will also cover how to use the database for individuals and teams and how to add your logos to reports. So I'll just switch over to the FinxS site. Alright, so the admin area is where you go to find your account information such as usernames and passwords. To access your admin information, you will need to hover over the user's main heading and click on the admin users subheading. Alright, here you can see your contact details, including your username and email. So here we can see the username is HRPS test, just second row down in that web form there. We can also see that the email belonging to this account is kelly.fairhurst@hrprofiling.com. It's really important that you keep your email up to date, as this will be used to send any FinxS alerts, such as the new retention email as part of the Extended Disk International Policy. If you do need to change this, you can come down to this edit button in the bottom right hand corner. Just click on it. And you can see here you are able to edit your email. And then, so we'll just change it here to show you. So you just type in what your new email is and then just click save. You can also edit your password by using the second tab along here. So the second one in after users is password. To edit this, you just need to click on the edit button again in the right hand corner there. You need to log in your current, enter in your current password and then create a new password. You can't have any extra characters or special characters like exclamation marks or hyphens or anything like that. So just a mixture of caps and numbers. And then once you've done that, just hit save. Just wait for that to load. All right. You can also change your brand color. So this under user settings, so that's the third tab in. Your brand color shows up in the reports in the profile and also in the flexibility diamond and some other graphics. So just to edit that, again, we're clicking in the bottom right hand corner there. And to change it, you will just click on that change button next to whatever color's there. And then once it's entered in correctly, just click OK and click save. Awesome, and now your user information should all be up to date. Moving along, we will go into the projects area. So the project is what you use to create an access code, and this is what you send out to your participants to complete the extended disk questionnaire, along with the link to the website FinxS. To create an access code, you need to first set up a project. And a project can be set up for different types of reports, or if you have different clients, you can also set one up for them. You may decide you want all your results to be filed under one project and all your clients to use the same access code. Alternatively, like I just said before, you can have a separate code for separate reports or separate clients. So to create an access code in a project, you will just need to click on this main projects heading here up the top and then click on behavioral analysis. The column on the left displays all the projects set up in your FinxS account already. So here we just have one highlighted here in pink, test account access code. To quickly find an access code, you can sort by the actual access code, which will be NZL-something if you're in New Zealand, or AUS-something if you're in Australia. So to sort by that, you're just going to come up to this white box here where it says project names just under the FinxS logo, and click on the box to bring down the drop down and click on access codes, and then this will change it from the project name to the access code itself. So if this is easier for you, you can sort by this using this option. I'll just pop it back to project names. Alright, so to create an access code, you want to click on this plus symbol in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. This will bring up all the fields required for an access code. First, you need to fill in the organization name to which the access code is being used for. So if you're using this for a certain report, you might put your own organization name, or if you're using it for a specific client, you might put their organization name. Just a note, this cannot be edited once you've saved the access code, so you want to make sure that you get it right before you save it. So we'll just enter in here our organization name. Next, you'll need to fill in the access code using 12 characters or less. I like to do this by abbreviating the name of the organization and or the report type. So I will put in here HRP, short for HR profiling, and we'll put BA, short for behavioral analysis, and then we'll put 2, as it'll be our second access code in the account. Next, you'll need to enter in the name of the project. So this is what will show up on the left-hand side of your screen in this kind of grey column. You can do this by typing into the white box and name it to your requirements. And we'll call it test access code, and then we'll put number 2 to reflect what we've put in the access code itself. The name shown to respondent is not required. You can see it doesn't have a red asterisk to the right of it. You can put something in here if you wish, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. If you do put something in, it will appear at the top of the candidate's screen while they are completing the answering process. So for example, I might put in here behavioral analysis questionnaire. So when my client is completing the questionnaire, this will pop up at the top of the questions. Next, we have the send method. So there are 3 send methods to choose from. The first is email. The first is none. So this means that you won't get any notification as to when someone has completed a questionnaire. So you'll just have to make sure you come into FinxS regularly and monitor to see if anyone has completed it. The second option is email. This option will send an alert to your inbox notifying you a respondent has completed the questionnaire. You will then need to log into FinxS to download the PDF. So this is a good way of creating a little bit of added security if you're giving your access code out to lots of people and they complete it more than once. Doing this will not consume any points. So if you can see it in there twice, then you know not to download it and your points won't be consumed. The third option is PDF report. This will send the PDF straight to your inbox, so instead of having to log into FinxS, which can be time consuming and a little bit tedious at times, you can just put in PDF report there and it will automatically pull through to your email, and you won't have to log into the FinxS system at all unless you want to generate an additional report. So we'll go with this one for today's purposes, as most people use this option. Next, because we've chosen the PDF report option, we need to actually choose a report that's linked to this project. So I will choose the administration assessment. Next is the language. You can click on this to change it. I think it only just comes up with English, as we are in Australia and New Zealand. The answering interface here will put your logo into the questionnaire. So when your candidate is answering it, they will see your logo rather than ours. The one we have set up here is example interface for training. Description is not a required field. However, if this helps you to remember what the access code is used for, then you can fill this in. So for today's purposes, I'll just put set up for test. Cool. The questionnaire area is used if you want to attach a research module to the end of the questionnaire. Mostly this is used in recruitment situations and gives you the opportunity to add basic questions that you might do in an interview, such as your level of education, your current position, something like that. These answers will then appear at the very end of the questionnaire and will be pulled off into the report. So it kind of just saves a little bit of time when you're doing the interviewing, as you kind of already know some background information about them. Here in the 2CC and BCC area, you have the option of adding more than one email. So as we're doing a PDF report, it will send us an, as a send method, it will send us an email. So we just want to pop an email here so it knows, FinxS knows where to direct the report. So we'll put in my email. You also have the option to CC or BCC anyone else in who you would like to receive the report. For example, if there's 2 or more people that are monitoring the access code, then you might want to put their emails in as well. You can also have the ability to send the report back to the candidate just by putting a tick in this box. We don't often use it as sometimes people don't know how to debrief the report and might misunderstand it, so we often leave that unticked. You can also limit the amount of assessments tied to the access code by clicking on limited next to allowance type and then entering in a number. So we'll put 15. So this might be if you're profiling a team and you only want 15 passwords, then you can type that in here. Next, you can tick yes if you would like your candidates to enter in a password as another additional added layer of security when they're completing the questionnaire. Just tick yes if you would like this. You can then add in the amount of passwords you need. So we'll put in 20 and then you click generate passwords and these will come up in this box here. We do recommend that you copy them down onto like a Word document or an Excel sheet and just cross them off as they're being used, as passwords can only be used once. I'm just going to click no here. Alright, next you will need to give the access code an opening date. If you need to use the access code immediately, we recommend entering in the previous day's date. If you would like the access code to be used in a couple of weeks' time, you can also enter in a future date. The project will be pending and cannot be used until the opening date, or if you change the opening date, so just be aware of that. That if you do put it in the future, no one will be able to answer the questionnaire until you put it back. So we'll put in yesterday's date. The closing date is not needed unless you only require the access code for a short project. You can always edit this afterwards anyway. Alright, once that's all complete, you will then just click save in the bottom right hand corner and we will wait for it to load. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, there you can access this access code, edit the access code rather, once you've set it up. So to do that, again, edit in the bottom right hand corner. All the editable fields in this project will show up. So you can edit the name of the access code. So that's just here, so test access code 2. You can edit the send method. So for example, if you don't want a report going straight to your email anymore, you could change it to none or email. You can change the report linked to the access code. If the administration assessment isn't quite what you need, you can choose from any of the others. So maybe you want standard assessment. You can add or remove a questionnaire or research module. So we can choose between these two. So we might want employee engagement. You can add in or take out emails, or tick or untick send to respondent. Just in this 2CC and BCC area, you can add or change a closing date. Then we click Save. Alright, so now we can change the limit of the number of assessments required by just choosing the second allowance tab here and clicking Edit and clicking Limited and adding then in the amount. So maybe we only want 20 assessments to be used, so we add that in, click Save. You can also add more passwords if you've used them all up and you need more. In the same area under Allowance, click Edit, where it says Require Password, just add in, maybe we want 20 more, generate some more, and now we have 40 passwords there altogether as I added 20 before. I'll just put that back to no, and then click Save. Just remember that you cannot edit the organisation to which the access code is attributed, and nor can you access the access code itself. So that's just this one highlighted on screen there. So just make sure that you've got those right the first time. Alright, next we'll move on to the database. The individuals database is where you go to find all the candidates who have completed a behavioural assessment. Using this, we can reorder results, we can download different reports at no additional cost, and we can also create team reports. To access the database, individuals, hover over database at the top of your screen there from the main menu, then click on the individuals subheading. So to pull up the entire database, you can click on this behavioural analysis category here. So that will highlight all the access codes or the projects, that you've set up in your account. So you can just see the one that I just set up there, which is test access code 2. You can also just limit this to one project. So it might only have 15 results and you're looking for someone in particular, you can just choose one access code. I'll just go pull up the entire database just for today. You can use the search bars above each column if you're looking for a particular candidate. You might know the candidate's last name, so you might put in their last name here, and then you can see that they have popped up. You can also search by first name, organisation, access code, date completed, whether it's valid or invalid. You can search by email, and if you do have passwords set up, you can search by that. To resend a result, all you need to do is identify the candidate and click the box next to their name, then hit the resend button up top. So we want Sandy Lee, so we put a tick in the box next to her name. Then just up the top here, oh, hang on, we'll just choose a different access code. Sorry, and there is the resend tab here. So just after report preview, download Excel, and then the last one there is resend. So you just click on that and it will resend it back to the email that's in the that was set up when you set up the project. To reorder a different style report, you can again put a tick in the box next to the required candidate's name and then hit the print PDF button up the top. So that's the first button there in the set of 5 buttons. We click on that. So now an option menu appears. You can, we've just got 2. You just want to make sure that you only have one person selected. So we'll hit print PDF again, and it will just show you that it's a behavioural analysis report, so just a single person. You can see the report there, standard assessment. I might want the sales report for this particular person, so I find it from that drop-down list by clicking on the report, then search through our list and choose the one that you would like. Then all you need to do is click OK. And we've already generated this report before, so it's not going to use up any more points to create another report. So we go OK, and that will just download a PDF report to your computer. It just sometimes takes a while, so we just have to bear with it for a second. There we go. And there we have the sales behavioural assessment. Okay, to order a multi-person report or a team report, you can click multiple people. So we'll just click 3 people. Right, you want to hit print PDF up the top again in those 5 buttons there. And that will bring up the option menu again, and now it's showing that you have the multi-person report, so that there's more than one person going to be added into the report. We then want to choose a multi-person report. For today, we will choose the team and build analysis. You will also need to give the group a name, so we'll call this test team, and you'll also want to give them an organisation name, so that could be your organisation or your client's organisation. We'll put in HRP. And again, this is costing us nothing as we've already generated our reports for these 3 people here. And then we click OK, and just like before, that will download a PDF to your computer. Again, it will take a while, so just bear with it. And here we go. And we have our team and build analysis with those 3 people. Right, next we will move on to the teams database. So using the teams database, you can create teams that are saved that are saved by the FinxS system. These teams are flexible and individuals can be added or removed to reflect any changes in the teams. So to access the teams database, you want to hover over that main heading in the menu there and click on Teams. You will see any teams that have been created previously in the left-hand side column. So here we have the Jan set up a test here, and we also have a test management group. To set up an entirely new team, you will need to click on this bottom left-hand corner. There's a plus symbol, so we just click on that. And then a web form will appear with required and optional boxes. So you will need to give the team a name. There is a 16-character limit, so you may need to abbreviate. So instead of putting HR profiling, I'm just going to put HRP. And again, we'll call it test. Now, the full name will appear in the report. So this doesn't have a character limit. So if you abbreviated before, you can put in the whole thing here. So we'll put HR profiling. And then we'll put test team. Fill in the organisation name, HRP. Great, and we don't need to fill out any of the other options there, so just leave them as are. You don't need to touch them. And then we just click Save. So now we will need to add people to the team. You do this by clicking on the Team Database Individuals button, so you can see that's the 4th tab in. So we just click on that. You can pull up all the database by clicking on All Results. And then you will need to highlight the team you want to add people to. So we want to add them to HRP test. So we highlight that under Teams. And now we need to tell the system the people that we want in the team. So we do this by clicking in the check boxes next to everyone's names. You can also put a tick in the circle next to someone's name if they're a manager, so we can easily identify them in Open Preview or in any reports that we create as being the manager. So once everyone is selected, you will need to go back to the first team that says tabs. Don't worry, this saves automatically, so don't panic if you don't need to click save. So we just click on that first tab, which was Teams. And again, we just make sure that the required team is highlighted there on the left-hand side. So we want HRP test. And now a print PDF and open preview buttons have appeared underneath the information. So you can click on this, print PDF, click on print PDF, and the same web form that appeared before will pop up. So this is just a different way of creating a team report. So again, click on the drop down box under report, find your multi-person report, so team and build. Make sure that the group has a name and an organisation, and then we'll just click OK like we did before. You can also actually email this to yourself. So instead of, if you don't want to download the PDF or you want to send it to someone else, you can click on underneath method, change to send email, and add in to a CC or a BCC, and then click OK, and that will send it off to those people added in those fields. And then you click OK at the bottom there. To view the team in Open Preview, we just want to click on the Open Preview button next to Print PDF. Once you are in Open Preview, on the right side of the screen, you will make sure all the team members have been selected using the Select All button. So just on the right-hand side there, in the grey column, Select All. And this will make sure that all your team members you want to view in Open Preview. There are 3 tabs in Open Preview in the middle here. You can see Behavioural Competencies, Job Templates, and Graphics. The first tab, Behavioural Competencies, which we already clicked on, contains a list of all the different categories of behavioural competencies we have in the FinxS system. So we've got all these ones here. Under each category are different job role descriptors or competencies relating to each category. So I'll just expand one using the triangle. If you click on the actual name, it won't expand, so you will just need to make sure that you carefully click on that triangle there. There we go, and so you can see that they've all appeared here. And we'll just highlight one, and this will show you where each of the person are ranking on that competency. Just a side note, this isn't about ability. Each of the candidates can become more comfortable with in each of the competencies, and we're just seeing if it's their preferred way of behaving or their natural style, what's natural to them. So you can see that it's easier for Susan Brown to display this behaviour than it is for Daisy and Joy. If you would rather look at a set of competencies rather than individual ones, you can compare the candidates to a job template. So that's just that second tab in the middle there. You can use one of our standard ones, or you can create your own. We won't go over this today because we don't have enough time. However, there are instructions on the HR profiling VIP area, or your FinxS provider will have them. The job template looks at a set of competencies all at once. If you do not want to see individuals' results against the job template, you can remove them by simply deselecting their name on the right-hand side there. So, for example, I might want to compare them all to the admin job template. So I just make sure that's selected on the left-hand side. And maybe I don't want to see Susan Brown, so I just click on her name on the right-hand side there, and she is now deselected. So we're just seeing Daisy and Joy. You can print this out as a PDF by clicking on the Print PDF button just towards the top right. The print top, so yes, so that will print a PDF. Or additionally, you can print the top 5 by coming into this Print All button in the middle of your screen and clicking on it, and you can print the top or the bottom. So maybe we want to see their top 5 competencies. And then we just change that 1. So at the moment it's showing only 1, so we change it to 5. And this shows you the top 5 competencies. You can then print PDF again to create a PDF report. The third tab along is the Graphics tab. These are all the single and multi-person graphics that can be represented in the extended disk reports. You could get a quick look at the individual profiles rather than generating a full report this way. So, for example, we might want to see the profiles of all our 3 candidates. So we just click under Single Person Graphics and click Profiles, and there you can see we have them for Susan, Daisy, and Joy. You can also get these into a presentation really easily by clicking on that print PDF button at the top of the screen. So if you're creating doing team building for a client, you can come into the Teams database shop or their profiles, click that print PDF button at the top there, and it will just print off a single page report that can be easily inserted into your PowerPoint presentation. I really encourage you to have a look through all of these graphics here. We don't have time to go through all of them. There's no harm in coming in, creating a team, and just seeing what it can do. Right, next we will move on to the Image Manager. So this is where any images needed for a template or report are stored. So to access the Image Manager, you will need to click on Templates, the main template setting there, and then click on Image Manager. This is also the first step in adding a logo to your report. So you can see that there are already some images in here, and we can only have 50. So just make sure that if you've got quite a few in there, you're regularly moving them in and out. So to add a new image, again, we're just clicking on this plus symbol in the bottom left-hand corner like we have before. This will pull up a web form with the required fields. So we need to give the image a name. The description isn't required, and you can, if it helps you to identify what you're using the image for. So we'll put in test here, and then you click on choose file to choose the image. So I might want our extended disk logos. So I just click on those, and then I click save. When you have finished uploading your images to the FinxS admin site, you will then need to go to the template and report template area. So we go under templates and then click under report templates. So this is the second step in adding a logo to your report. You can create an entirely new template if you would like to. However, I find it's easier to clone what's there, as I can quickly tell which colors need to be changed, or I can make minor details to something. So I'm just going to clone the standard BA template. So to do that, I highlight it and then I click clone on the right-hand side here. So this just saves me having to make it from scratch. So once you have cloned that required template, the web form will appear and you just need to give it a name. If you don't like clone off, you can say maybe it's your new template. Just make sure that it's clonable, as that allows you to clone it just like we did just before. You can make it automatically available for any new users underneath you, or you can make it available to those who are already set up. I'm just going to untick that one, and then we click save. It will then appear on the left-hand side in that grey column. All right, so you will notice that the cover is split into two areas, the cover page and the content page. So this is where you click to edit it. So we want to click the cover page and edit that. And then the edit button's moved. It's now towards the top left-hand side there. So we click on that. Now you can see there are three sections that we can edit: the header, the middle, or the footer. First, you're going to go to the header tab. So you can see that here, that it's already highlighted, and find the logo area and click on Image Manager. So this will bring up the Image Manager and it will show you the images that you would have just uploaded in that previous step we just did. So I just uploaded these award shield symbols, so I want to scroll down till I find them in my Image Manager and then go OK. And then you can see that it's added it into this logo area here. You can also change the colors for some of the text. So we can change the header title. If you want to change that to your brand color, you just click change, and you just need to fill in the RGB code here. And then we click OK. You can also change fonts and font size if you would like to do that. You can bold it, italicize it, or underline it as well. You can move it to the middle or have it right aligned. You don't need to save it before pulling up a different section, so that's fine, we'll just leave that. And then we'll expand the middle. So here again you can see that we can edit the text and make it a different font, color, or size. We can align it differently as well. We can also upload a background image. So to do that again, you just click on Image Manager and then you find the one you'd like to add from your image manager. So perhaps I want this puzzle one. And then now you can see that'll be added into that area. And you can do the same thing for footer. You can upload an image or remove what's there, change text if you have text in the footer. Once all that's complete, we then click Save. Right. Now we can move on to editing the content page. So to do that, we click on the content page tab there, and then click Edit, which is in the top left-hand corner for this particular function. Again, like we did before, we can add an image. We can add it in the logo area or in the background, and you can see that it's highlighted in yellow, so that's telling you where the image will appear. You can change the text, color, font, size. You can justify it differently like we did before. You can do this for the header and the footer. However, you can't upload any images into the middle like we could on the cover, so that's the only difference here. So you just would want to update this to reflect any changes you made on the cover page. Then we click Save. So once all that is complete, we want to make sure that it's pulling through to our reports. So to do that, you click on the Reports heading, and then Report subheading, and then expand the Behavioural Analysis Report category and Uncategorized, and select the required report. Click Edit in the bottom right-hand corner there. And then at the very bottom you can see where it says report template this report is based on. That is where you would change it to reflect your new template. So you just click on it to bring up the drop down, and then we'll click New Template as that's the one I just made, and we'll click Save. To make sure that it's pulling off your reports once your candidate's completed a questionnaire, you will then need to go back into that projects area like we started with, and then click on Behavioural Analysis. And you want to make sure that the report that you've just updated the template on is also pulling through to the access code here. So we can see that it's standard assessment, and that's not the report that I attached the new template to, and I do need to change it. So I'm just clicking the Edit button, which is in the bottom right, and then finding the report option here. So we've got standard assessment in the box. Click on it, and I changed it to this one here, copy to place standard report HRPS test. Then we want to click Save. So now when someone completes an assessment, this will be sent to your email with that new branding attached. So you need to make sure that you've uploaded all the images into Image Manager, then you've added them into your report template, you've attached that template to your report, and you've attached the report to the project. So those are the 4 steps that you need to remember. All right. So thank you all for joining me in today's webinar. If you would like to go over any of the points, as I know we moved through them quite quickly, or you have any other questions relating to your FinxS account that we didn't quite cover today, you can give us a call on one of our free to call numbers here, or at our email info@hrprofiling. Thank you all for listening today, and I hope you all have a very happy Halloween. Thank you. Bye.